Now I'm going to be testing another mechanical here. This is the NAP Slingblade. This came out, I believe it was 2016, so it's a relative newcomer. And it's designed as just kind of a less expensive kill zone, basically. It's simple. It's hunt ready, as they say. It's strong, it's durable, it flies great, low surface area, has a different type of blade deployment, still rear deployment like the Killzone, but a different type. It's this kind that as you push here, it opens up like that. It's the kind they use on their double cross. And so they turned it into a single cross, if you will, and that's the Slingblade. So it's the blades are shorter. They're 1 7/8 inches when fully deployed, as opposed to 2 inches for the Killzone, and then they're rounded at the edge, so they're not quite as frail at the edge, if you will. But because of this different type of deployment, the challenges that I've heard is on a 25-degree entrance, like if you hit at an angle, because this one blade will hit here, it'll hit the point and then hit that blade, it just skims off. There's nothing to really dig into the animal, so to speak. So it's not the best on quartering shots, extreme quartering shots, but those are rare in that occasion anyway. But it's just important to note. I will say it's sharp because I was just like messing around with it and I paid the price. I mean, I felt it, didn't see any blood, then I looked down and started my own little blood trail. So we're going to shoot it through a little medium that we have here. We're going to go through an 1/8 of an inch thick hard piece of leather, just a big tough piece of rawhide leather, and then it's going to go into rubber foam like tile, if you will, and then through a 1/4 inch of plywood, then another rubber foam tile, and then into 3/8 of an inch plywood, and then foam beyond that. So we're going to be testing the penetration and the durability and the opening of this head. Let's see how it does. Here you can see the entrance hole of the Slingblade, and it's the one kind of going from northwest down to southeast. It crossed a broadhead that I shot earlier into this leather, but I had moved the boards and everything else, so it'll be fine in terms of the hole. But this one, you can see as I measured it out, it was 1 3/4 inch at the entrance, and then it penetrated relatively well and went through all that I had there. And you can see it sticking out the back. The tip stuck into the foam behind it, made quite a hole in that wood. And so we'll pull it apart and examine it and see what happened. So here you can see the entrance hole after it went through that initial piece of leather and into that first piece of rubber foam. We see the cut here, and that measured a full 2 inches. So it got its full 1 7/8 inch plus. I just measured, it was exactly 2 inches. So it opened up really well. And then it went through that, went through another piece of rubber foam and made that hole in the back. And that, interestingly enough, came out at 1 inch. So it just made a 1 inch hole in the back. So it had already, for some reason, started closing. But it still blew a nice hole in the back of this wood. Yeah, it's that hole on the left. And so it made a nice hole coming out, blew out all that wood, and penetrated into the foam beyond it. So it did really well. Now, interestingly, the head itself came out amazingly unscathed. I was really impressed with the head. I mean, it still spins as true as it ever did. The blades open and close perfectly, and the blades feel really sharp as well. So this is a very durable head, no doubt, to go through all of that. And it performed pretty much as expected. I suppose the only disappointment was it began to close up toward that last layer, which probably increased its penetration and increased the percentage chance that you would get an exit hole, but it did decrease the size of the wound channel. So it started at about 1 3/4, then by that first wood it got up to 2 inches, then it decreased by the last piece of wood to about 1 inch. Great overall head, especially for the price.